Black Grape are an English rock band from Salford who were formed in 1993 by Sean Ryder and Bez of the Happy Mondays and two rappers from the Ruthless Rap Assassins and some other people. They released two albums before breaking up in 1998. They had a brief reunion in 2010. They reunited again in 2015 and are still going with two more albums to show since then. And there are only two members left, Sean Ryder and somebody called Kermit. Hi, my name's Dan. So I know of Black Grape. I know that they are the successor to Happy Mondays in the sense that Sean Ryder created them after the Happy Mondays under their demise. But this is my first listen to this album. I couldn't name any Black Grape tracks, but I was vaguely aware of them when they were contemporary, kind of in the 90s. Um, so this has been labelled as variously by Acclaim Music and Wikipedia as pop funk, Britpop, and alternative dance. I don't think any of them really do uh, kind of invoke the feeling of what it is. So I'll try and do a more detailed description. So I think it's got some relations to neo psychedelia or neo psychedelic. It's got a vague psychedelic feel. It's got grooves to it, so there's definitely an element of funkness in there, but funk is really doesn't get it. It's busy with quite a lot of instruments going on. So if you start with that kind of idea and then you add more percussion as well as the drums, so there's things like shakers and hand percussion and all sorts of things going on. And then a gospel feel to it as well, particularly using things like tambourine and organ, but also in the kind of just the sounds and the way it's put together. Occasionally there's things like Indian instruments, there's a harmonica, there's a bit of kind of Jamaican spoken stuff at one point. There's definitely, I would say, some of the bass work is really nice in this. And when I was reading up on them, I saw that they were influenced by the Rolling Stones. And when I read that, I kind of, yeah, I could hear that. It's kind of got, particularly towards the late 70s Rolling Stones, this kind of funky rock attitude. There's some bits of rap in it as well. So it's a mixture. It's kind of a big kind of melting pot of all these things together. It reminded me quite significantly of the track Step It Up by the Stereo MCs. But it's kind of reminded me somewhat of a couple of their contemporaries, the Stone Roses and the Spiral Carpets. I want to name check, but um, yeah, it's kind of so. Yeah, what do you get if you put funk, psychedelic, and gospel together, and in a kind of big party atmosphere? And that's this. Okay, so it's got this big upbeat party feel. There's definitely feel like it's dancing. It's about having it large in a Salford accent. Sometimes it's quite repetitive, but not irritatingly so. It's probably more spoken than sung. There's bits of that I would call rap, as I said, but stuff is more kind of just speaking. Songs about, well, there's all sorts of stuff in here. There's certainly play on the gospel element, and there's kind of pseudo-religious stuff going on, especially the first couple of tracks. There are songs about drugs. In fact, the title of the album is Great When You're Straight. Yeah, is not about sexuality. It's about being clean from drugs. And there's vague other stuff as well. So Kelly's Heroes is about celebrity heroes and yeah, other stuff. I will warn you that the track Shake Your Money has quite a bit of obscenity in it. There's occasional bits in the other tracks, but not a huge amount. It's just that one track, really. So, what do I think? Well, this is interesting because I've never been a fan of Sean Ryder or particularly engaged with the Happy Mondays. There's just something about him. Actually, I think maybe it's because I lived in Salford for a few years whilst I was an undergrad that I kind of got a little bit sick of. I mean, particularly it was the Smiths that I got fed up of. But that kind of Salford attitude and the Manchester thing never really appealed to me. So it was a bit of a surprise to find out I actually really like this album. It's got this kind of funkiness to it. It's got nice grooves to it. Because at that kind of time, there was all sorts of like slight funk groove stuff going around. And I wouldn't really compare this in sound otherwise to Freak Power, but it does have a bit of that kind of groove to it. It rolls along well. So I enjoyed it. Um, yeah, I ended up listening, more than a couple of times, just actually from just happenstance. So, as always at this point, that's what I think, and I'd love to know what you think. So please do talk to me through the comments box. That's it from me for now.